Orlando Pirates are playing Marumo Gallants. The venue, Peter Mokaba Stadium, sold out. We saw Buccaneers winning the MTN 8. Marumo Gallants, obviously, they've got a new coach. They say he's 28, 29. I'm not sure how old is he, but he has really done well. No one expected Marumo Gallants, even the people who are so optimistic, to reach the final. And the fact that on the route to a final, they beat Mamelodi Sundowns. Coach KP, please take us through this match. What are you expecting at Marumo Gallants? Let's start with Marumo Gallants. We'll end with your former team, Orlando Pirates, as a former Orlando Pirates supporter.
Well, look, but you can't take away what the coach has done at Marumo. But before we give credit to the coach, I think whoever who's doing the scouting or the hiring of the coaches at Marumo Gallants seems to know what he's doing. I don't know, with the previous coach who are doing well at Pirates.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He doesn't know how to. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't know how to treat people because he's still owing Xola.
No, he
knows how to. Yeah, he needs to pay Xola. Actually, we need. No, Dr. Pramselo must pay Xola. No. This is not right. It's actually annoying me. I don't like it that he can keep. The guy is a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire. He can just transfer how much Xola? 500,000. You can just transfer, even if it's $1 million to your account, or send you wallet.
Send even.
You need to send you even your wallet. 1 million, 1 million wallet. I'm
So I think the coach has done very well. I think the coach has done very well.
Maybe we need to put your bank account so that they pay you quick. Does he have your bank account?
He does. He probably does.
No. Dr. Pramselo must pay you. No, this is not right. It's not right. You can't keep on appealing and appealing. I mean, you terminate a contract unfairly, then you don't want to pay. Honestly speaking, it's not right. That's why South African football, people want to play Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, and Sundowns because you don't hear such stories in those teams. In the other teams, how they treat players, guys, we need to call it out. It's not right.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope he heard you when he will sort Xola out. So as I was saying,
do you agree that he must pay Xola?
Yeah, no. He needs to serve the guy right. He needs to give 10 what he deserves, so that we can sort this out. You see.
And lawyers are expensive. Xola cannot be hiring lawyers while you know that you are owing him.
What are the lawyers saying? Are they saying keep appealing? But yeah, let's get into the Marumo team. I think the team has progressed very well after Uwadu, and they didn't struggle. He just improved the team and also the players that they've got in from Orlando Pirates. I think it's gonna be a very entertaining game. Looking at the fact that they've won against Orlando Pirates in the league match, as much as there's contradictions there that Pirates were wrong, but at the end of the day, the results that were recorded is that Marumo Gallants has won against Orlando Pirates. Also, last season, Wadu won against the Orlando Pirates. But this is the same team that Orlando Pirates beat 8. So I think Marumo Gallants is coming here as underdogs. They've got nothing to lose. Should they lose 4-0, 3-0, everyone will just be talking about the score line, but not surprised that Marumo has lost. But also in saying that, I'm one person who believes that history has its way of rewriting itself. I hope it doesn't come this Saturday because looking back at last season's winners, Magezi on their first game, they beat Orlando Pirates at Orlando. And they went all the way to the final to beat Mamelodi Sundowns in the final. And they beat Mamelodi Sundowns at Lucas. So, and they're going all the way to the final playing Orlando Pirates. So will history repeat itself? Pirates needs to be wary of Ndlondlo. His moves off the ball, he's been firing left and right. He moves off he plays sort of your false nine. He doesn't stay there as short as he is, and then he makes those runs. And then also Otladisa on the other side, I think both of them, they have a point to prove to Orlando Pirates. And Washington Arubi as well, he's been having a great tournament. You look at their first game where they beat Mamelodi Sundowns, he saved penalties. Their last game when they beat Golden Arrows, he saved penalties again. So Marumo is well ready for me if you look at their track record currently this season. And also this a Carling Cup on Nadim, man. It seems to be the small teams cup. So hopefully the face change come Saturday. So yeah, that's the little I can say about Maroon.
Yeah, interesting one. Xola, what's your take on that game? Obvious, don't worry. I think our subscribers, our viewers who are lawyers, can they reach us? We need lawyers, especially who are based around Sentin, to take on Marumo Gallants to pay Xola. We need to be aggressively against Marumo Gallants to pay Xola. We need support, guys. Those lawyers, please contact us. Our email is there on. Just contact us on on X, NSL 360, on TikTok, or on Facebook. My name is Nadim Lukele. If you're a lawyer, you can contact us and assist us so that we claim the money Xola is being owned by Marumo Gallants. Xola, don't talk about the money. I've already talked about it. Just look at the game.
Yeah, Nadim, the final is going to be an interesting one, to be honest. When you look at the stats, head to head, Marumo Gallants versus Orlando Pirates, currently Pirates is leading with 6 wins, Marumo with 2. So it's not going to be an easy one because they come with an advantage of saying we won against them in the league, so we can do it in the final. And the Orlando Pirates is saying we can't allow you to beat us in the league and beat us in the final. It's not going to look well on our books. And Coach Wadu as well, I think he also has a point to prove because I don't think he left Marumo Gallants at the point that he still wanted to leave. I mean, we've heard my interviews. He said he contacted the chairman. He even spent his own money going to book in hotels, trying to have a meeting with him. But with no luck, he could not reach him. And he ended up finding himself in a team like Orlando Pirates. So it was a blessing in disguise. You try.
Thanks to their treatment, Orlando Pirates benefited through their bad treatment.
Yeah, and I think he's a good coach, and he has proven that with how Orlando Pirates have been consistent this season. So he also wants to leave a mark to Marumo Gallants to say, you shouldn't have let me go. Maybe I would have brought the trophy to you. But he's now saying, I have to thank Orlando Pirates for awarding me the opportunity after I've beat them with Marumo Gallants and after I did not know whether I'm going to still find myself having a job in the Premier League, and I find myself working for one of the best teams in the continent. So the Orlando Pirates, I think they also have to be worried on Ndlondlo, as Coach KP has touched on it, to say he's playing a different role. I mean, the coach is doing a fairly good job there at Marumo, and they have a history of hiring young coaches. I think this is the second coach that they brought in the country who's in his youth, if I have to put it like that. So he also wants to make a name for himself so that the big teams can start looking at him and giving him the opportunity like Owadu got. So Ndlondlo, the role he's playing as a false nine. It's more like a free role. In the olden days, you can move wherever you want because whose responsibility is he going to be? When you take a midfielder to track him, to move with him, then it leaves one midfielder open for Marumo Gallants to dominate the center path. So if you take center back Yako out to say follow him because he's their named number 9, as much as he's not a box to box player type or he's playing a role where a free role, he can move in and around. You are opening a space at the back. So I don't know how Orlando Pirates is going to plan for that. And Ndlondlo has been having a good form. Otladisana is coming into the party saying, I still want to play football. I still have the capabilities of showing that I am a good player. And it was not a mistake which Orlando Pirates signed me. And they have a point to prove, which would be, you made a mistake of letting us go. And we are showing you now. But the Orlando Pirates, they are dominating in the league, man. They are dominating in our national team as well. So it's for theirs to lose. When you look at the stats on their previous encounters, they went all the way to the final. As much as it was in smaller margins, they won some games 1-0, they won 2-1. Marumo Gallants, they've been surviving on penalties. We know penalties is anyone's game. And like you said, Uti, Arubi has been having a good tournament. I don't think Arubi has a good record against Orlando Pirates, because when Orlando Pirates won 80 was the ones in goals. When Marumo won 2-0 against the Pirates, he had to come out, and Kagiso Mlambo played the better part of the game. So the previous game, Marumo that played, we saw Kagiso Mlambo was the one in goals. We are not sure as to going into this final. Is it gonna be Arubi? Is it gonna be Mlambo? So it's a give or take type of situation. I think Nabombata, when they see Arubi on goals, they have that confidence to say we can hit them from range, because I've done it before. I can do it again. And it's not only that I've done it against him, I've been doing it in Nagui national team. It's my strength. And when Washington Arubi, is he going to hope that the team goes to penalties to save them? Does Orlando Pirates want to go to penalties? I mean, Uchain and I on penalties, he has proven he's been the messiah for Orlando Pirates, saving a lot of penalties. So whether the game finishes off in a 90 minutes or it goes all the way to the penalties, it's still going to be an open one for any of the two teams. But I think Orlando Pirates has an upper hand because they have more players that are possessing of a higher quality than Marumo Gallants does currently. Abo Muremi, they've been scoring goals. Abo Apolis, they've been doing well. Mufukeng coming back, also it's like injury, it's what he needed at that time when it happened, because he comes back as refreshed. It's the old Mufukeng that we know, who's more relaxed, who's more comfortable in and around the boxes, who's creating chances, who's winning man of the match accolades. They have Umakaula back as their trusted center back. No, their center mid, their CDM number 6, who's always in and around. You always want to have a person who has Makanji Wendlin. I have that security who's going to cut all those transition, who's going to be the first line of defense. Before you get to our center backs and our full backs, you have to pass by me. And him coming back with Orlando Pirates, it was a huge boost, because it wasn't easy for them playing with Nemtenjela, Umbata sometimes, and Master Chef. Ngoba they are all ball players. Ageko grinder who's saying, Mina role it's just to win the ball and give the people that know what to do in the advanced stages. With them having a cash back, it's a huge boost for the team. So they are the team to beat. Marumo, they have that advantage to saying we are the underdogs. If we lose, no one's gonna say much about it because it's expected. But if we win, then we silence the whole country. Like Coach KB has said, it seems as if like Ikalin Black Label, it's a small teams type of trophy. So Orlando Pirates should make the turnaround and saying, as we've been dominating, we are continuing with our dominance in the league, and we are stamping foot to saying we are here now to dominate. We are not here to play. But all in all, I say it's an advantage for Orlando Pirates because we know the stadium will be filled with a black and red and their new color that they are using currently. So support, it's 1-0 against Into already. They have the 12th man and the quality players motivated. Abo Mahopa and going to the AFCON, they want to go to camp with that gold medal, like with the confidence, and it's going to be good for our country as well. Mabaya AFCON, knowing Guti they've won a title, it's a motivation. Now they are going into another tournament that they can probably help the nation win after so many years.
Yeah, that is so impressive, Xola. Thank you so much. With that, Coach KP, show us with the board. How will Orlando Pirates fare in this match?
It's gonna be a straightforward thing, man. Nadim. I think. So now you're calling me to predict the starting lineup, because if you're gonna have the board, then you need to have people on the position. But I think Pirates will play their normal double pivot, and then with their attacking wingers. So I think Pirates will start with Umremi, and then who's this Ride. I think the coach is gonna start Master Chef, looking at the fact that every time Ozuna Police comes in, he makes a huge impact. Like he comes in, he scores a goal, or he comes in and create. the most interesting position for me is the striking position. Is he gonna start Mahopa or will he be starting Umbutuma? You see,
No,
so
don't worry.
for me,
No, it's
I
gonna
think
start.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna start
be
Mahopa.
Mahopa.
It's a final. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
think
start
you're gonna
Mahopa.
start
Yeah.
Mahopa there, and then you're gonna start Master Chef because I felt on this position, I felt the coach set up Tito, especially against Richards Bay, because Pirates went to the game knowing already that should Tito get a yellow card, he's gonna be suspended for the final. So he could have played any other player on the day for that role, but he chose to play Tito. Maybe it's because Tito prior to that game did not play during the midweek game, or maybe he could have played in midweek game and then he's got a suspension and then he can be back for the final. But also, it's a strategy as a coach, Xola. Maybe a strategy that players might not like. I mean, with the squad of the coach that has, if Tito is not there available for selection, it makes one job easier for him in terms of choosing who he's going to play here. So I think they're going to Pirates is gonna start with Master Chef, and then here I hear Nduli is injured. So with Nduli being injured, he's gonna start Mbata and Namtanjela. Well, I would love to see Mbata and Makese and Makaula, but I'm
Makaula.
not sure. Yeah, I'm not
Makaula.
sure of Makaula's fitness, especially with the runs that Ndlondlo and is making around in that team. So I'm not sure if Makaula's fully fit. But what I've realized is when Makaula is playing with Mbata gets to shine. He plays very well when he's with him. I think whenever Mbata is being played with Namtanjela, there's a bit of sacrifice in Mbata because he needs to be the one who's holding. Because in most cases, you will rather have your double pivot like this instead of on a straight line. But what I like about Namtanjela is the spaces that he covers. When the team moves up, you find him moving in. When we defend, you find him also being back. So I think the middle field will start with Mbata and Namtanjela, unless, of course, if the coach trusts that Mbata is fit enough. And then the most interesting position is going to be the two center backs. With the announcement that has been made already that Umboga, as one of the captains, is leaving Orlando Pirates, so he'll be playing his last game. You see, one thing that I've seen with Pirates, I don't know if they don't know how to say bye or is it because of maybe they were not in good terms with Miguel team. I felt last season they could have given Miguel team just 4 minutes to or just to say bye. But with Mbogazi leaving, are we going to be seeing CBC and Mbogazi continuing? If you look at the log as it is currently, or if you look at
No,
Orlando
you need
Pirates.
to. In the defense, Pirates, if they want to win, they must play CMI and Bogas. CBC
Yeah,
must sit on the bench.
and I was going there that if you look at these two youngsters, they've played very well. I mean, you look at Pirates; they've conceded 5 games in the Bedway Premiership. So the two youngsters are doing well. But also, we will see in the final if he's going to come Siema and CBC here. I think on the left, Hoto is going to come back to the team. He will be starting. And then on the right, I think they're going to go continue with Libito moving up.
Libito, yeah.
Yeah, because what I've realized is I don't approve of Rile and Muremi when they are playing both wingers, and I'll try and explain why. In the last game that I saw, when Rile is playing with Muremi, in most cases Rile is more dangerous when he's coming from the left side to cut in, which it gives Ugoto the space to go down there. But Muremi on the other side, gonna maybe you can or maybe you guys can help. Moremi on the other side, whenever he needs to cut in, and this is what we were saying about Obregon, whenever he needs to cut in, it seems like there's something that has been taken away from him. Like his strong foot, you will rather have Moremi coming on the left, and then hence why with Apolis, they tend to play very well. And this is why it's easy to play Relay as the number 10 and then have Apolis coming in or playing all over. If you look at most goals that Moremi has scored at Orlando Pirates, he's always scoring on the left side. But also with Moremi playing on the left side as well, it also sacrifices the up and down of Dion Hoto, because we know the strength of Dion Hoto is to be overlapping and utilizing this space here. But yeah, I think this is how they will line up. And I think Orlando Pirates will win the game with a margin of 2 goals. I personally, I'm still waiting for Sipho Mbule's goal, because if you're going to be watching football in terms of stats is not looking very well of Sipho Mbule. He doesn't have assists, he doesn't have goals in him. But I mean, the charisma of a player that he is, he gives Orlando Pirates a whole lot. He gives Orlando Pirates a whole lot of options, and he's got, the arrogance in him. He reminds me of the same guy that we were with here, U1010. He always had some arrogance on the ball. It's those players, Nadim. It's like, give me the ball. I know what to do with it. Don't worry about pressure. Just give me the ball. I'll deal with it. So I'm waiting for his goal. So I don't know if you've ever scored in the final, but I feel, should he open his account in the final, and after the final winning the culling and then going to AFCON is going to be a confidence booster. It's going to be a confidence booster for him. And also it will down talk the bit of talk that we are having about the stats. And also, Nadim, because Orlando Pirates has got so much depth, their squad, it gives you that anyone can come from the bench and win you the game. I mean, on the bench, you can have Udlamini coming in. You can always have Ubutuma coming in. You have Osman Apolis, who has proved that whenever he comes in, he makes magic. And also, he'll be playing at his former home stadium at Peter Mokaba, 6 o'clock. Sold out affairs. As we have already alluded, that Orlando Pirates always plays at a sold out affair. So it would be a sad day if Orlando Pirates is to lose.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you mentioning Mabasa. Is he no longer a Pirates player?
The sniper is Orlando Pirates player. Nothing has been said from Orlando Pirates. It's just unfortunate he went. I think currently he's number 3 on the strikers, because let me just do this just 2 minutes.
But in games like this, you need Mabasa. Remember what he did against Stellenbosch. He came in and scored. You need big name players.
But Nadim, you see, this is one thing that I've seen with Mabasa. So if this is the 2 centre backs, Mabasa wants to play here. You would call him what Xola just said, a box striker or a finisher. Whereas if you are going to be playing Moremi and then Sipho Mbule, these are the players that you need to play for them. You see, so when you have Umbutuma and your Mahopa, you'll have Mahopa moving here, and then he will obviously track the defense, and that's where Aworile and the number 10 will exploit this space. But with Mabasa, you need to have Moremi going down the line. You need to have Relay, if he's playing on the line, going down the line and putting in the crosses. But then it swallows the big role of these players, because the Relay will come and cut in. And if he cuts in, it means he's waiting for what? A lay off. And then you can have that player. But will Mabasa do that? In the past, he has proved not to make it. Yes, he is a sniper, take nothing away from him. He's one of the best finishers we have in the country, I believe so. But the system, players get to be swallowed by the system. If you look at even Utito, he looks like he's a bit struggling, even though whenever he's given a chance, you see that Tito is a star. He's a good player. But the system, the way Orlando Pirates is playing, if you have Moremi, you have Apolis, you have Reileo who can make runs, you have Reileo who can pass, the speed of the game, you see, sometimes I think that's the reason why Mbule can't finish the game at Orlando Pirates. But if you compare the Mbule that is playing in Orlando Pirates and under Hugo Bruce, 2 different players. So I think, just to answer you, Mabasa will be at the stand.
At the stand?
Definitely.
Yeah, but don't forget, Uti Pirates is a team of surprises, Like you predict the lineup, they can come up with a different one. We don't know whether Utito being started in the previous game, it was because they were resting the other players. We don't know whether Marumo Gallants can go and do their analysis, planning for Umbutuma, planning for Umaho, but then they surprise you, come back with Umabasa. They have the options and the quality to can do as they please. And it has been proven evident, Luguti, even now Mabasa, when given the opportunity, as much as it looks as if like the system is not fitting, is not suiting him, but he has goals in his feet, and not only in his feet, but he can also score with his header. So he's a striker that you can also rely on. which is the advantage that the Orlando Pirates has at this present moment. It makes it difficult for this young boy who was loaned out and came back to also now find his place in the team, because already open, yeah. Because he started, he was in the team, it was until Abo Mahopa came back and picked up their form.
Yeah,
and then
but he started unfairly so. Unfairly so. He didn't start on merit.
So but that's the versatility that Pirates possesses, because they have Umbutuma, more or less similar player than Umahopa, but they have different qualities. Umabasa also gives them a different dimension of attack, because Umabasa was doing fairly well last season. No relay, they could still find those 1-2s or relay in and around the box. Magnasu relay, Umabasa is there. He finishes. When there's some scrappiness inside the box, Umabasa, like a sniper he is, he's always there. It's as if like he's sniffing the goal. And they have all the options, man. They can start Mokabelo Pagati, they can put him in as a sub, they can start Makaula, because we know he's a heart-to-heart type of a player. He doesn't give up. He has that never give up mentality in his head. You have Abombata, like they are spoiled for choice. Abonem Tenjela, when he was given the opportunity, he showed the quality that led him to being part of Orlando Pirates Football Club. So it's a bit tricky at the back, because we're not sure as to they're going to give TLB a farewell with allowing him to play his last game for Orlando Pirates, as he has been announced in the MLS. So we don't know if Guzoqala TLB with UCM, because it was their tried and tested combination that has been working for them until they reintroduced to CBC and they dropped UCM, but it was a bit shaky. They had to bring UCM back and play him with UTLB. With UTLB's absence, we saw UCM playing no CBC, and they also did well. The question that I have, Marumo Gallants, is that it's going to be tricky having now to put Washington Arubi back into the back four. Yes, he's been playing with the center backs, but looking at the previous game, they were playing with a different goalkeeper. So you're now having to get used to a way of communication with the new goalkeeper, and now bringing in Warubi, they have to readapt for it. We don't know what contrary it might end up leading them to, but the Pirates they had the advantage of winning the tournament.
No, definitely, but it doesn't look good for them. In 10 finals, there's only one win, guys, 9 losses in the Carling Cup. Historically, they've been struggling. The last win was in 2011 when they beat Vesves. So it's been difficult for Pirates.
Yeah, honestly, and we can go back and revisit history, but it doesn't always win, man, because we can go back before Orlando Pirates started winning the MTN 8. They were struggling in winning trophies. When I was there, we were
That's true.
To Abu Barok, we didn't know what was happening. Why are we struggling to win the Tandazam? Sometimes Unkulunkulu favors everyone. If it's not your turn, it's not your turn. And at this present moment, it seems as if like Orlando Pirates has found their fortune back again into winning trophies. So I don't see them struggling much. I mean, you look at the previous finals that they've played. How many have they lost? They've won all of them. They've won the final against the Skukune. They've won against the Stellenbosch. They've won against the
Sundowns.
They lost against Amakhosamate in Durban, you remember?
Yeah, they lost against, but no, Guti, there was a lot happening with Rivero. There was unsettled.
Yeah, that's true.
Thing, but now they seem to be in a stable position. There's no hearsay, rumors saying this and that. Maybe if the TLB saga wasn't sorted out, Umfananga as it was gonna leave the team a bit. But the way they are doing things now, it seems as if like they are on the right track. Because Umkota, it just happened, and then he moved. The team was happy, Uti, the boy found a better deal. He's gone abroad. The team, it was a motivation for them to say, we also need to work hard, because once we do good, we're going to be out at the the moment to leave. When there was rumors against Urile, the boy wasn't performing so well, but the dust has settled and Yonkinto is smooth sailing. So I don't see them
And the good thing about Urile's father is stop talking because the person who was being problematic.
And now the boy is playing well. He's creating,
Exactly,
winning accolades.
exactly.
No,
Yeah,
that's why I'm
yeah.
saying the Pirates, see, the dust has settled, and everyone now is ambitious, is motivated. If I do good, there are teams now that are putting eyes in our teams. Not so long ago, they took Unkota. Now they've taken OTLB. Who's next? You know, so all the players wants to do great because the others are saying you do good, you are awarded an opportunity to go and play for a national team. As
Yeah.
Abu Mtengela, they've gotten their
And now TLP will be making money in dollars, Baba, in America.
a lot,
US dollars.
a lot,
Yeah,
which is something that I
the
like
Saral
seeing.
it comes in US dollars.
I enjoy seeing young players also progressing, man. It
Yeah.
kills stigma. Now we have more and more players going to play abroad. It takes our league into a greater height. You know, recognition years. The scouts are going to come back in numbers like it was happening before when Abu Pina were getting opportunities. Abu Penny McCarthy. You know, it wasn't only in the big teams. So now the doors is open. We saw players from ETS Galaxy moving abroad. Now Orlando Pirates players are moving abroad. Urivero also, he moved abroad there, Spain. As much as we know, Guti move yake wasn't an easy one. It was not a smooth one, but it says now the eyes are open.
He has to force his move, yeah.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that now players should realize and recognize Guti. The scouts are watching the league now, so anything can happen for anyone.
No, that's it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. This is NXL 360. Xola and Coach KP. I'm interested to know your score prediction. Obviously, we know that the winner takes all. I heard Coach KP saying Marumo Gallants will lose nothing. If they lose, like, how much is 7 million? You lose 7 million if you lose the match. So it's not nothing, guys. Imagine if they win the money and pay Xola 2 million from the deal. So it's a win-win for everyone. It's a win-win for NXL 360, win-win for Marumo Gallants. So what's the score prediction, guys? Please think about that before making the score prediction.
No, you don't have to think much, man. We know football doesn't have therefore, but come on. Also Napoli's really getting a goal. 3-1 Orlando Pirates.
Interesting, Xola. What's your score prediction?
I think coach.
And who's gonna score? Coach KP still need to come back and say 3-1. Who's gonna score? Yeah.
I think Orlando Pirates has been good in terms of defense. They not conceding as much as they used to, like they did last season. When they concede one. That's why when games are difficult, they can wrap them up. They can take a 1-0 lead. But in this final, I see them winning 2-0, to be honest. I see Umahopa on the score sheet. I see Oazwenapolis on the score sheet.
Interesting. Yeah. So you see 2-0.
Yeah.
Coach KP, who do you see scoring for Pirates in the 3-1?
Rene scoring, Oazwenapolis scoring. I'm tempted to say Muremi, but I would love to see Sipumbuli scoring.
Interesting. That's it, guys. On my side, obviously, I agree with the guys. Orlando Pirates to win 1-0 with Moremi scoring. End of story. They go to AFCON as local leaders, as champions of the Carling Cup. Second time they win this trophy in gonna be 11 attempts, because now in 10 matches they've lost 9 finals, which is a bit dismal.
We won the trophy against the Kaizer Chiefs before it was reopened for all the teams to compete. Why are you saying it's 11 years?
No. But the Carling Cup as it stands, remember that one was just an arrangement of sponsorship, Chiefs and Pirates.
But what was the cup?
You're losing. I love the fact that Xola saying we. He was part of that core that won that cup. So give it. Why do you want to take it away?
No. That is not a that one is recognized as a preseason trophy. It's recognized as a preseason trophy. It didn't have all the 16 teams and that one, the fans were the one voting for the lineup.
Teams. MTN 8 doesn't have 16 teams as well. So we cannot now want to debate about the format of the tournament.
No, the lineup was not selected. When you won, the lineup was not selected by the coaches.
But it was the team players that were playing.
Interesting. And the coach was a championship coach or something. It was not the coach of Pirates. So we don't even remember the guy who won it at Pirates. The
So
coach.
do you think those champion coaches are coaching, in your opinion?
Let me not say where they are now, guys, because we know how they end.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Please continue subscribing NXL 360. After watching, just subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, you might not see us again. In order to encourage us producing more content daily, just subscribe and share the live. NXL 360 are available on TikTok and X. NXL 360 standard, everyone. Marumo Gallants, hopefully you'll pay Xola Mlambo soon the money you guys owe him. If you don't, lawyers can assist us in taking this matter. They must contact us on our social medias, because we can't allow people to ill-treat other people. Is not right. If you want your family to be well fed, also take care of other families. That's how it works. Gone are the days where club owners will just treat players anyhow. But with Marumo Gallants, guys, we're requesting lawyers to take this matter aggressively. We need an urgent court application so that they pay you, Xola. No, this thing of waiting for SAFA appeals, wasting time, even if we have to take it to the Supreme Court, where? And what is that court where Mamlukize lost the team? The CAS, in Switzerland. We need to do that, guys. Please come. And it's also going to be good for your law firm. You'll be showing victory that you are fighting the rights of footballers who are being ill-treated by club owners. That's me, guys. Nadim Lukele with Xola Mlambo and Coach KP. Thank you so much. Hopefully you'll enjoy the show as we enjoyed preparing it for you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.